What is up, rockers? Welcome back to another Rise of Kingdoms content here. I'm Shinchi42, your sponsored content creator. Now, we have Leonidas here on our very own eyes. We are going to talk about the skill review, infantry pairings, more fancy pairings, and the talent tree that we are going to be building Leonidas when we have Leonidas. Now, if you like commander contents, commander guides that will help you to be successful in the game, consider subscribing to this channel and turning that notification on. So let's talk about a little bit of a history here for Leonidas. Now, most of you have probably seen the 300 movie where Leonidas in that movie kicks a guy down to the well and he screams something. I don't think I'm allowed to say it, maybe copyright issue, trademark, so we're not going to say it. Look it up on Google, watch it on YouTube. Now, at the end of that story, on that 300 battle where he had about 300 troops, he ended up fighting with Xerxes. So are we going to be seeing Xerxes in the future here in Rise of Kingdoms? So that's going to be very interesting. So just a little bit of a background. If you want to read more, you can read more into here. As you can see, even here it says that he is a so-called leader of the 300 Spartans. So King of Sparta, the first skill, so the active skill, the one that needs rage. Now, we're going to try to simplify this as much as we can. 30% health bonus, as you can see here, 30%. AoE skill damage that will deal extra damage when enemy is silenced or attack is reduced. You can see it here as well. Now that's going to be a direct damage factor of 600. The second skill, the 300 Spartans. Wow, very unique on the skills. Okay, so if only infantry, plus 30% defense boost, and plus 15% speed of the rage gain. Wow, so that is pretty insane. This is the first time we're seeing a commander that's going to have a speed of rage gained. This is 100% very unique to Leonidas. So this is going to be very interesting on how we're going to be talking about our commander pairing. So third skill, Honorable Sacrifice. When below 50%, he'll chance to gain a shield. That increased troop attack by 15% for 3 seconds. Now, the key factor that we want to talk about here is that there is a chance to gain a shield when attacked. We don't know what the chance percentage is, but whenever you're down to 50% health, then you'll have that chance. So it's kind of vague here. I kind of wish they would have said what your percentage would be. Now it's going to only last for 3 seconds, and of course your troop attack is going to increase as well at 15%. So Son of the Lion, the fourth skill here that we have, while on the map, so Leonidas can increase his troop attack up to 40% by attacking. That's pretty insane. Now you're probably wondering, wait, hold on. 40%? Where did you get this? As you can see here, stack up to 4 times. That's pretty insane. So it will last about 5 seconds, but you have 25% chance to increase your damage. Battle of Thermopylae. Hopefully I said this correctly. So this expertise skill, at 10% health, you get 400% damage and increased damage reduction by 50% for 10 seconds. But it's only active once every hour. Now, the key thing here is that it says that once per hour after the army has left the city. So you can bring your troop back into the city. That should reset everything. Once Leonidas is actually up and running, it will increase the damage reduction by 50%. I think that's big actually. So that's massive. 50% is massive. And it will increase the damage reduction by 50% and it will last for 10 seconds, guys. Remember, this is a passive skill. So if you're getting swarmed when you're 10% strength, your damage reduction is increased by 50%. Wow, that is insane. But where I see the great value of this is when you are in a structure. I feel like that's going to be the best value in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think also. Now let's talk about commander pairing. My first option that really came into my mind is Richard. You know guys, I love Richard. Now, the reason why I say Richard is that Leonidas has this rage engine, right? Speed of rage gain 15%. Now, if you're pairing it up with Richard, now you guys are gonna say, "Oh, bad choice." Kind of proc a lot of healing. what's going to happen in there is that there's going to be more troops to heal, you know. But I really like this combination. If I can proc more healing and then also this damage reduction, it's going to be pretty insane. Now, I would do this if I'm in a structure, if I'm trying to win a structure, if I'm defending a structure and I'm trying to win it. I think that's the best option. Now, maybe open field, I think it's still gonna be very, very tanky though. But if you don't like to heal a lot, I mean, that's your choice. Then don't use Richard then, because that's inevitable. But you got your damage reduction, marching speed reduction if you're on the field. So those are some of the things that you need to consider. But I think in a structure, it's gonna be really, really dope. Now, you can also pair it with Charles Martel, but I don't think this is going to be the best option. Now, when we talk about Richard, imagine this. He also has a damage reduction. Now, when you talk about Leonidas with Richard's damage reduction, this is going to be one of those key things that you need to understand is this attack reduction will take an additional 50% damage. So with Richard, that should, you know, also matter, right? It's going to be a complement hand in hand to each other. Now for Charles Martel, I don't really see the value. You can look into Alexander. I don't really see anything in here with Alexander that would be really good with Leonidas, unless if you're leading with an Alex Leonidas, maybe that's an option. But another interesting combination is that a commander that we don't really get to look at is with Constantine. Now Constantine has an attack reduction. That's a perfect pair, right? That's going to enhance Leonidas' first skill. And also Constantine has a increasing of infantry health units up to 40%. So that is pretty insane. A garrison commander 100%. So those are some of the options. So let's talk about Wu Zetian, fancy pairing here. I think this is going to be very interesting. Wu Zetian has a silence, right? So that's going to complement Leonidas. I think we should be counting that skill damage reduction with this attack reduction. So that is an attack reduction, right? So that's going to be factoring in. Now, Wu Zetian is a great option, and I think Sun Tu, out of the epic ones, I would say Sun Tu is the best option for this. AoE commander already. You have this active skill damage increased by 20%, and you also have some, you know, rage regen as well in here, and how that's going to complement, right? That's going to really complement with Leonidas, this rage engine that he has, the speed of rage gained. So I think out of the epic commanders, Sun Tu may be your best bet to use if you're going to be doing some commander pairing. So I think it would not be fair if we don't talk about Guan Yu as a legitimate pair for Leonidas. One thing that you really need to look into Guan Yu is that he will be able to silence a commander, right? Whoever he targets for 3 seconds. Now, that's going to work hand in hand with Leonidas' first skill, as you can see here, targets under the effect of silence. And another thing you need to consider is that if you have Guan Yu expertise, you can see here is that when Guan Yu gains a shield, he also increases his active skill damage by 15% for 3 seconds. Now, you're probably wondering, how would Guan Yu gain shield? If you look into Leonidas, when the army led by this commander has been reduced to less than 50% strength, there is a chance to gain shield when attacked. So that's going to be, you know, hand in hand with Guan Yu's Lone Rider skill. I believe this is a very legitimate combination if you see a Leonidas Guan Yu. Now, how would you set this up? There are players that really love the defense tree. There are other players that loves the skill tree. Now, this is a strategy game. I personally love the defense talent tree. Now, you have to decide as a governor in this Rise of Kingdoms game to which is actually better for you. I've given you my opinion. I think for me, I love the defense tree. And if you actually have Guan Yu here, key thing here as well is that if he is a secondary commander, he's only getting 1,000 damage factor. So he is similar to Edward, where he actually has to be a primary commander. So with that being said, if you're going to be pairing up Leonidas and Guan Yu, we'll definitely have to put Guan Yu as a primary commander. Now, we will still be talking more about Guan Yu, but not today. So for talent tree, I would probably build him still similar to my Richard here. Now, if you want to be into the moving speed, you can go into the moving speed. But if you're going to be defending structure, I would focus on defense 100%. Focus on defense. Now, they have pretty much the same, except, you know, Leonidas has, you know, versatility here, except as a garrison, but you can still use that to defend. So hopefully this is very helpful to you guys, and let me know what you guys think about Leonidas. Are you guys actually excited that we now have a Leonidas here? Because I've heard about Leonidas so many times in the comment section below, and it's pretty crazy. Now we have this, the developers have heard you guys, so I'm sure majority of you are happy. Now, we will also talk about Guan Yu in the next videos. Alright, I will see you again, rockers, later. Keep grinding, be the best.